You work hard for your money, and you want to keep as much of it as you can. So in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to get great deals on literally anything. What's up, everyone? I'm Matt from Family Money School, the small but mighty channel that's all about helping kids and the parents who love them become money rock stars. Your money isn't going as far as it used to. I mean, when my wife and I sit down to budget, it seems like we're spending more and more every month just to keep fed, clothed, and to get around. And that means there's less money for kids' activities, family fun, and pizza nights. And the facts back up our experience. With inflation skyrocketing and wages stuck in neutral, it's more important than ever to figure out ways to stretch every dollar. So let's dive in and score you some killer deals. First up, you need to be specific in what you're looking for. Even the most heavily discounted item isn't a deal if it's not what you actually want. That's why before you even start shopping around, nah, not my style. You need to know what you actually want. For savvy shoppers, that means doing the research into what you actually want. Now, that can be as simple as shopping around for a new dress at different stores, or it can involve more in-depth research on the options, specifications, and capabilities you're looking for in something like, say, a computer. For me, I love reading reviews on different items. Now, you can Google a product and get tons of hits with different reviews, but you need to be careful because some of these are sponsored, so the reviewer can tend to oversell the benefits and conveniently forget to mention many of the drawbacks. To get more unbiased thoughts, I check out Amazon and read the reviews from other buyers to see what their experience has actually been. Now, even though it's against Amazon's terms and conditions, you may still get people who are being paid to write reviews, but most are legit. Usually by reading the top reviews and then checking out some of the negative ones, positive and negative themes start to emerge, which help me narrow down my search so that I can know exactly what I want and I can start hunting for great deals. And often I find out through the reviews which options are need-to-haves and which are nice-to-haves. This allows me to broaden the products I'm interested in and gives me an even better chance of scoring a great deal. Now that you know what you want, you need to take the time to research different options. And doing your homework on your purchase has a few benefits. First, as you shop around and take time to learn about the different products and options, you'll get a much better sense for what a good deal actually is. That way, when you find a smoking deal, you'll feel confident pulling the trigger right away. Depending on where you live, this might mean looking in different cities and regions as well if a deal is awesome. I mean, if it's a fantastic buy, it might be worth driving. And some companies will even ship to you if you don't buy online. You should also check out camelcamelcamel.com. Camel tracks the Amazon prices of millions of products over time and will alert you if an item ever goes on sale. Now, you may not decide to buy from Amazon, but it will help you to know if you're getting a good deal or not. Not only that, you can even use the information to help you negotiate down the price, which we'll talk about in just a second here. A second benefit of researching a product is that you'll come across as a serious, qualified buyer who really knows what they're talking about. If you're geeky about gaming consoles, are well-versed in wireless headphone technology, or are cuckoo for custom furniture, no throwing furniture inside, you should share that expertise with the seller. This will put you in a position of power when you negotiate and show the seller you didn't just fall off the turnip truck and you know what's up. Next up, to score a killer deal, be open to used or refurbished items instead of new. You wouldn't believe how many people are selling pretty much new products for a fraction of the price you'd pay for them in the store. Yes, they might be lightly used in packages that have been opened, and they may even look a little bit worn. But depending on what you're buying, there are killer deals to be had. Get in the habit of checking local reselling marketplaces such as Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, and Kijiji for my Canadian peeps, as well as online reselling sites like Poshmark and The Real Real. It's crazy easy and worth a bit of extra effort to save a boatload of money. My wife just scored an amazing deal the other day on a bed rail for our 2-year-old. The regular price was $70, and what did we pay? Only $20. And you should explore refurbished items as well. Whether you're shopping for a new kitchen appliance, power tools, or a gadget, buying refurbished items can save you huge money without sacrificing quality. Retailers like Amazon, Best Buy, Apple, and Nintendo all sell refurbished items, and the prices are notably lower than if you purchase these devices new. Apple products, for example, are sold at a minimum 15% discount and come in like new condition, complete with a white box, accessories, new battery, and outer shell. Just make sure that any refurbished products you're looking at come with a strong warranty in the event that you do have an issue. To get a great deal on anything, you need to shop at the right time of the year. Did you know you can usually pay less for a TV in February than in March? There's a best time of the year to buy almost anything, including iPhones, jeans, even vacuums. Look for steep discounts during end of season sales and major shopping holidays. Now here's a rundown of a few big shopping events. Late summer brings the chill of fall and savings on classroom and office supplies, clothes, computers, and more. And there are a bunch of states that have sales tax holidays in August where you won't pay any sales tax on certain back-to-school items like school supplies, clothing, and even computers. Labor Day sales in September are best known for amazing deals on appliances. But shoppers can also find some of the year's lowest prices on home furnishings, mattresses, and any leftover inventory from the summer. And who could forget Black Friday deals? Black Friday has become a shopping day like no other. But you don't have to camp out in line and risk getting beat up to get that stellar deal you're after. Retailers release Black Friday ads or even discounts as early as October. Plus, you can often find the same deals in store and online, with the sales rolling into the Cyber Monday week following Black Friday. Some of the best things to buy include small appliances, computers, home gadgets, and video games. Next up, if you want a deal, ask. Often we don't get what we want because we don't ask. Like, for example, I'd love to reach 1,000 subscribers, so I'm going to unashamedly ask you to subscribe so you don't miss any of my awesome videos. Now, when it comes to getting deals though, contrary to popular belief, the price listed in store or on a website is not always the final price. There is always wiggle room. You just need to ask, and ask the right person. So, who is the right person? Well, generally not a salesperson. Instead, look for an upper-level manager, associate, or the owner, someone who has the authority to make pricing decisions.
No, come on, this doesn't have to wind up on YouTube.
If you're looking for a deal on something, ask to speak to a manager and ask them what they can do for you as far as the price, or what they can include as extras in the deal. For example, if you're looking for a new camera, ask if they can throw in a case, a memory card, or a tripod to sweeten the deal. I mean, the worst they can say is no, and you would be surprised at the deals you can get. Okay, now that you're talking to the right person, it's time to negotiate. When you're negotiating, you always need to be polite and courteous. I repeat, be polite and courteous. That doesn't mean you have to be a pushover, but people want to do business with people they like. So if you're a pushy jerk, you'll immediately put a sour taste in the seller's mouth.
What do you think?
Right off the hop, you want to communicate 3 things to the seller. First, come right out and ask, is the price negotiable? I mean, beating around the bush isn't going to help you. In fact, by being direct, you'll communicate not only confidence, but also a sense of power and control. Next, let the seller know that you've been shopping around for an item and that you're willing to buy now if the price is right. And finally, be sure to demonstrate your level of knowledge that's come from your research by asking a strategic question or making an informed statement. Again, if we're talking about cameras, you may ask if this particular camera comes with the 10 to 18 millimeter super wide angle zoom lens or just the standard zoom lens. Communicate to them that you really need to know because you plan to use the camera for landscape photography, so the super wide lens is really critical. By asking this question, you'll immediately show the seller that you're an informed buyer who has done their homework and isn't to be messed with. Typically, when it comes to negotiating, the higher the price and the higher the margin, the more you can negotiate. And this makes total sense. You're not going to negotiate on a box of Cheerios, but you should definitely negotiate on cars and houses. Now, to improve your chances of negotiating, try this. If you've done your homework, you'll know the real cost of an item. You'll also have a great idea of the lowest price sellers are willing to accept, and chances are they're not going to go below that. As you're negotiating, ask whether they have any open box items. Open box products are typically floor models or return goods that have been inspected to make sure that they work. They may have been lightly used, so be sure to check for damage like scuffs and scrapes. If you find any, these are almost guaranteed discounts, so be sure to mention them to the seller. And be sure to give sellers a reason to negotiate. If you're a loyal customer, say so. If you're at a mom and pop store because you like to shop locally, let them know. Tell the car dealer if you intend to bring your car back for servicing. I once forgot to make a credit card payment. I contacted customer service to let them know what happened. When I did, I made sure to point out my track record of on-time payments. I apologized for my mistake and asked the rep to waive the fee and the interest. And they did. Everyone wants to make a sale, especially when commissions are involved. So take advantage of that by playing other sellers against one another. If you're looking for a camera, it might sound something like, hey, I'm really interested in this camera, but I've been doing a bit of shopping around and this other store is willing to do a deal for $500 and to include a case and a tripod. What's your best price or best deal? Depending on their response, you can either pull the trigger on the deal or you can negotiate with some of the other sellers you've been dealing with. In order to get a great deal though, it's critical that you're patient. Good things come to those who wait. And rushing into buying something is a recipe for overpaying. A couple of years ago, we were in the market for a new vehicle. We had our third kiddo and we needed a larger vehicle to fit everyone. My wife and I researched online and we went to some dealerships to get an idea of the different options and prices. We finally settled on the Volkswagen Atlas. I began looking at different used Atlases throughout my city and in my region. And as I did, I got a really good idea for what they were selling for. When I came across one at a local dealership, I knew it was a decent deal. But I didn't just want a decent deal. I wanted a smoking deal. So I did everything we just talked about. I was polite and courteous. I made sure I was talking with the sales manager, not just the salesperson. I let them know that I had done my research and had shopped around and that I wanted a deal. I had a number in my head and I straight out told them we'd sign on the dotted line right then and there if they could make that number happen. But no dice. I asked if instead of lowering the price as much as I wanted, they'd be willing to throw in a set of winter tires. Nothing. I pushed hard, but they wouldn't budge. They said they were confident that they'd be able to sell the vehicle for the listed price, and I told them I couldn't pay that. We were at a stalemate. So I told them I would call back in exactly a week to see if the car had sold and we could talk then. And then I walked away. Being willing to walk away and actually doing it is an incredibly powerful negotiating technique. It's one that I've used many times before and it saved me literally thousands of dollars. I've successfully used it when buying houses, negotiating deals for cable or internet, and yes, purchasing cars. A week later, I called back and the vehicle hadn't sold. I asked if they'd be open to accepting my price, but they still weren't willing to play ball. So I told them I'd call back in another week. This happened 3 more times until 1 month after I had set foot in the dealership, they agreed to move on price and we finally came to a deal. Now, in this case, it worked out. Other times it hasn't, and I've had to get over losing out on a deal. More often than not though, by using these techniques, I'm able to score killer deals on anything. With things getting more and more expensive every day, getting great deals has never been more important, especially if you want to have the cash to have a bit of fun every now and then. So in the next video, I'll show you 10 things you can do to save enough money to take a killer vacation every year. I'll see you there.